we're going to be talking about what you need to know about the perimeter mental health facility where human beings who used to have mothers are abused maliciously by the real mentally ill people, the real drug addicts, the real criminals, the real thugs, the real degenerates, is the staff at Perimeter at the Dallas location, which is in Garland, Texas. It is a prison. Take a look at their reviews. And, you know, a lot of people, when they think about these places, they don't know what's going on inside these places. They don't know about the abuse taking place. They don't know about the forced drugging taking place. They don't know there are immigrants there, and I'm pro-immigrant, but they don't know there are African immigrants there who don't like white people, who are in a position to abuse people who don't look like them. It's a torture chamber. Okay, and anybody that experiences something like that is experiencing a small sample of what's going on behind closed doors with ICE, minus the sexual assaults, but that could be taking place. Now, they send them from Parkland, okay, and what they do at Parkland is they force drug people immediately when they arrive there. Instead of somebody who had a few drinks, who got emotional, who was, say, you know, megaphoning a house that was promoting pornography to children, right? Instead of them understanding somebody is an activist from an activist city, unlike this fucking hellhole, these corrupt cops that like to rape women will take a man with a soul. You understand what I'm saying? They will take a man with a soul who cares about women, who doesn't want to see women being raped and human trafficked. They will take a good man, then they will force him to take drugs at a place like that while he is being treated like a prisoner. Also, they have big black guys there that work there with large arms that look like they want to knock somebody out. They're sitting there all day long at Perimeter staring on their phone, glaring at you. And they do provoke. They do like to provoke and talk shit, right, and call people schizophrenics when they're not. Now, the current mental health system is completely malpractice, and they don't have Bibles there. It's just like Glen Oaks. They don't have Bibles. Now, they're getting away here in Texas with kidnapping people for days, even if they're not mentally ill, just to make money off of them. They don't actually provide counseling, okay, at Perimeter. They force drug them, and they force people to stay in these cell-type environments with some people that might better be suited for a jail cell. So some people, for whatever reason, they don't end up in jail because, you know, they're possessed. I'm a demonologist. I expose demons. I expose systems that rape women, right? So there's a reason why I know about these things. I am very experienced here on this planet in exposing evil and demons. And they believe that if you know about demons or exorcisms or the paranormal or that type of thing, that you're mentally ill, that you have psychosis. They believe there that if you have ethnic eyes, that you're mentally ill, that they have to check you out and hold you because you're ethnically different. If you speak fast, if you speak quickly, because maybe you're a professional podcaster, they will hold you because they think that having intelligence that they don't have is manic. They think that having ideas about God and the devil is schizophrenia. And those people that are coming in, you know, I had a strong pedophile sense from the black staff there that were coming in. And you can tell that this person fucks children. You know what I mean? So they are there feeding like demons, like the ICE officers, on people that have no rights. They have no rights. So those people are soulless. And the reason why they're getting away with it is because this place is soulless. Dallas is soulless. Dallas is a horrible place. Texas is a horrible place where they're importing in innocent family members and children, and they're being sexually assaulted in detention centers. What they're doing at Perimeter is they're feeding on the life force of innocent men and women, and maybe children as well. Those people that work there are angry people. The staff at Perimeter are angry people. Also Glen Oaks, but it was wider, but they were very angry people at that facility. And the other thing that they do is they give a lot of coffee and they give a lot of snacks with sugar. And you're not being provided with adequate hygiene needs. You're being treated like a criminal. So you can only shower and, brush your teeth at certain times, and they're constantly showing, sugar at you. So it's interesting. as I, in my own personal life, abstain from alcohol, abstain from drugs, abstain from coffee, and working to abstain from sugar, they promote those things. They promote coffee. They have coffee. You know, and it does kind of help, like, counterbalance some of the drugs, but it's a disgusting environment where, like, it's not clean. It's dirty, styrofoam cups. And so the next thing that I haven't gotten into is sleep deprivation. You need sleep, so they gaslight about how you need sleep, but there's lights there. And they check you. They basically treat you like you're an animal, like you're a product, and they put something that's basically on your arm or around your wrist, and it basically tracks your energy. Or it is something that they scan. It seems like they were scanning it. So they scan it every 15 minutes in the middle of the night just to make sure that you're there and you're not dead or something like that. It's really creepy. It's like you're a product. Now next, from Parkland to this particular facility, they are completely irresponsible with the violent programming. They are not moral people. They are not good people. They are not spiritual people. They are not sober people. And so as a result of that, they don't have ideas regarding spirituality. They're detaining people with spiritual gifts who piss somebody off on the outside. They're torturing people. These people that are staff, these are not godly people. These are people with miserable lives. Okay, the only thing that they have to look forward to in their lives is feeding on the life force of prisoners that are innocent, that have no due process. Okay, this is modern slavery in the New World Order, in which now the new Nazis are back in power, and we're about to see millions of people killed in Iran. I mean, do you realize that we are dealing with people that are possessed in power, and all the time now cops are being busted for fucking people and raping people? Okay, so there's like a whole world of corruption. And so that whole world there, Parkland, these facilities, on the TV set, right? On the TV set, they have these horrible movies playing from Tubi that pretty much demonstrates the predictive programming of our fucking future, of robots enslaving humanity. And that shit should not be played to people in a mental health crisis or people forced to take drugs. And I gave that lecture to somebody at Parkland who's playing The Mummy, and they got all that paranormal stuff in The Mummy of demons. And it's like, you know, you have people here that look like they are crazy out of their mind, I told one guy, one big black guy. They think they're so fucking superior. And this is also part of white supremacy. And because they've been affected by the systems of white supremacy, of the poverty, of an environment in which there's no dental insurance, they're willing to be slave masters here. They're willing to be oppressors. So if you're spiritual and if you're genetically and racially different, you will be profiled next. They allow the inmates, we'll just call them what they are, inmates, to assault other inmates, and they don't hold them accountable. Right? These things are taking place, and the white guy that works there with like the plaid jacket, real fancy guy, he will not make eye contact with non-white people. Okay, so it's a Nazi operation. They are hateful people. They will not talk to you. They will not look you in the eye. They will treat you like a prisoner. They are bad people. Okay, they induce trauma into people that lasts for a lifetime. Okay. They create a level of PTSD and trauma that is beyond Thunderdome, the movie. They are horrible, horrible, horrible people. They will not let you shave. There's an Indian woman at Glen Oaks, right, who will look at people with, you know, facial hair that look Middle Eastern and look at them with hatred. So you're being subjected to racial hatred, including from black people that have done time in the penitentiary. Well, they'll sit there and ask somebody about their heritage. There's a number of mentally ill black people that are staff there that are abusive, that are both Americans, African Americans, and from Africa. And then you have the white staff. The white staff and the Jewish staff. Okay, if you don't look like you're white, they will not treat you like a human being. And there's one big fat guy there that if, you know, somebody walks up and asks them, you know, for water, you know, talks about how they have dry mouth, he goes, yeah, that's because of the drugs. No shit, Sherlock. They are really good at gaslighting people for no reason whatsoever. And, you know, you don't really have a person in that situation, doesn't really have their full mental faculties to talk quickly, and to fight back verbally, and to think quickly on your feet when they're pumping your ass full of drugs. So in that situation, you're slower. Okay, and as far as the drugs, these drugs, right, make an individual feel like they're going to lose their teeth, causing lockjaw. Okay, these drugs kill certain people with certain genetics. You cannot give those drugs to people and not see major organ failure. Okay, so I believe that in the future they're going to be murdering people in these facilities in the new Nazi system that's coming about. Okay, there's going to be all types of executive orders coming about. There's all different types of ways in which the government wants to lock up dissidents for being against war. They even want to create a mental illness structure, a system, or the DCIM-5, you know, Trump derangement syndrome. So if you're not from this place, and you're a firecracker, and you're a spiritual man, and you're psychic, and you're trying to warn people about this human trafficking mafia cesspool that runs shit, they will lock your ass up, and they won't even care at perimeter. And they won't even look you in the eye, revealing who they are and what they are. You know, I'm really traumatized reading about these people being raped to death in Israel, in Gaza. I'm really traumatized knowing that so many people here in Texas support that. I'm really troubled and bothered emotionally. I'm crying. And in this world, and these people that run these organizations, that work at Glen Oaks, they think you're a bad person if you care about others. They hate marijuana. And the truth is, marijuana prevents so many different things. The only reason a certain person had a certain problem and went to a certain place is because they had no marijuana, which they had for 20 years to calm them down, and they turned to fucking alcohol. And instead of having a drunk tank, they fucking kidnapped this person, you know, the story that I'm telling, where these details came from, know what I mean? Because they had the power to. Not because they needed to, not because he was a threat, not because he did something wrong, because they had the power to. So I'm saying this, because marijuana is illegal, which they think causes psychosis, they're actually creating psychosis through the drugs that they're giving people. And at the same time that they do that, this system hates Muslims, is committing a genocide against Muslims, but they have a Muslim woman who's at perimeter, who doesn't even care about patients that are fighting Islamophobia. Okay, they're not even real followers of God, and I'm saying that as somebody who is fighting for their right to be in America. Okay, they are slaves themselves. That little old lady who's the Muslim doctor at perimeter and the others, they're Muslims, and they don't actually understand or care what's going on with racism with other ethnic people. So even though I stood up for their rights to be here in America, they're here in America as slave masters. They're acting like they're slave masters, these doctors that are Muslims in the mental health facility. And I don't support their right to be here if they're going to do that. In their own religion, I believe it's haram. I believe God's going to punish them for forcibly drugging people that are innocent, that were just megaphoning houses, that were promoting pornography to high school students. That is wrong. And that's the final thing that I'm going to leave you with, because that's what this comes down to. They're watching these websites before they go in and they rape these underage girls. You pieces of fucking shit that work over at perimeter. You don't care about people that are being raped in detention centers because you're feeding on them. You're fucking abusing people that are innocent. Okay, and you don't apologize. You don't follow through. You don't talk to them. You don't look them in the eye. You're slave masters. Okay, and all that money that you're getting right now from your job, you're going to have to pay back to God. You're going to have to pay God back. You're going to have to face God for what you did in Dallas, Texas. All those years that you abused people, that you didn't sit down and talk to them, all you authority figures, people that abuse these kids in the juvenile system, you're going to fucking burn in hell, you pieces of shit. You're going to fucking burn in hell. Don't you ever fucking forget it. You're going to fucking burn in hell. Just like the Dallas Medical School. Just like the fucking people that run the fucking city of Dallas. You're going to burn in hell. You're going to reincarnate. You're going to come back in the form of life that you don't fucking like. You don't like brown people? You're going to be fucking browning rock in fucking 2050. You piece of shit Nazi. You pieces of shit slave masters are going to be enslaved yourself. You're going to come to understand what it's like to cry when you see your own people slaughtered. Okay, you're going to come to understand emotions when you incarnate in a future world or dimension or planet. When you're in my shoes, you're going to know what it's like to have tears. And it's in that situation that you're going to learn compassion. Okay, you owe me an apology, perimeter. You owe me an apology, Perimeter. You owe me, and you owe the people of Dallas an apology, and you need to be shut down.